So many of us are not engaging with our own lives. We're staying home, we're not going out and getting, dates or trying out for jobs or really feeling like we have much of a future at all, especially with all the crazy stuff going on in the world right now. It's a lot of us feel like we don't have a future, and it's very understandable. But the problem is, if we're not trying to live our lives, if we're not actually pursuing something in our lives, we're just sort of waiting to die. And that's not really living, sitting around passing the time. That's not really living life. And this is a problem that I personally have struggled with for most of my life. And it's something I've studied how to overcome. What I think is really going on is everything around us in our culture today leaves us with the feeling of give up in life. It leaves us with this feeling of, life's not that important. Don't work too hard because there's not really a point. And it's having the result of most young people today really do not pursue a life. Sure, there are some out there who sort of go through the motions, but most of us are staying home. Many of us are not even employed. I don't think it's our fault necessarily. I think it's really the culture, how we were raised, the kinds of ideas that are prominent in our culture. But ultimately, it's up to us. We are the ones who are responsible to engage with our own lives, because we're the only ones who can actually get out there and start living it. And what I've come to realize is that so much in our world today is built to take away our confidence to get out there and live life. And it's something that we typically don't think of as confidence. Usually we think of confidence as going to ask a girl out or something, which is true. But what I'm talking about is much deeper confidence. The confidence to really get out there and pursue what you want in life. This is something that I think is completely missing from most of us. Most of us are very timid when it comes to even recognizing what we want, or recognizing that we want something out of life. And it's not taken seriously. It's not a prominent thing in our lives anymore, which is why so many of us are stagnant. So many of us are staying home, not doing much. We're not working hard in order to create a life for ourselves. And the effect is that we're just sitting around as life passes us by. And so I created this channel because I really wanted to talk about the subject, about everything that I've learned so far, but also talk about the things that I'm going to be learning and going to be changing in myself. Because I want to share that with people. I'm hoping that someone will get something useful out of it. But I think ultimately the biggest thing to do in your own life is start to see all the ways in which the world around us, the movies, the TV shows, the attitudes of people, does it have the effect of encouraging you to go out and live a life, to take life seriously, to take you seriously? Or does it have the opposite effect? If you just take dating, for example, think of all the media coming out now that shows interactions between men and women as being a clash, as being war. One has to be better than the other. Men are after something and women are, having to fight that off and having to prove their worth against men. And it's just this, it's such a horrible portrayal of the relationship between men and women. Just think of anything, Game of Thrones or, the Captain Marvel stuff or Barbie or just all of it. All the Disney films for the past, 15 years or something. It's all built to make us feel at war with each other. And it's no surprise that the dating world today is such a nightmare. But the dating world is such a nightmare now because of that view, this view that we're at war. And that's just one little view. One view of how life is that's being given to us from the media and from those around us. And so going forward, just keep an eye out for that. Like, how do those around me, how does the media, how does the movies or the TV shows I watch, how is that making me feel about myself and about my ability to get out into the world? Because starting to tune out from those things, those negative influences, those bad ideas getting into your life, that can have a massive impact on your life. And that was one of the first things I did, is I turned off the news, because all it does is piss you off and make you feel like the world is spinning out of control and it's all going to be over by tomorrow. And there's nothing you can do about it. All it does is make you feel hopeless and pissed off. And the second I stopped watching the news, it massively improved my perspective. And it also made me realize how much control I actually have in my life. Because that's something that a lot of us feel we don't have. We feel like we don't have control, but we really do. It's just all the shit around us that's making us feel that way. Another thing I did was tune out from a lot of the media coming out now. A lot of the movies, a lot of the TV shows. I haven't been to the theater in I don't know how long. And it's massively improved my disposition. I'm much more positive, much more hopeful for my own future, much more interested in connecting with people. Whereas before, I had much more of a grim, dark perspective of people, of life. The second I tuned out from that stuff, the influence was gone, and so I didn't feel that way anymore myself. And I was able to have control over how I felt about the world, over my own outlook. So that's just one thing I can impart to you in this video, is just think about gaining control over your own outlook. Your own outlook of yourself, your own outlook of the world, and what's possible, what you can do in your life. I think it can have a massive impact. It had a massive impact for me, that's for sure. But something else I wanted to mention was just what I think of as, what I'm referring to as confidence and how it relates to what I want to do with this channel is one of the most basic motivators, really the primary motivator for us in life is what we want. What we really want in life. You want to go out and pursue some kind of career, or you love a woman and you want to ask her out and be married to her. It's those kinds of deep wants, these deep passions in life that urge you on to get up in the morning and start pursuing all the little steps to achieve those things. And it's having the courage to take those things seriously and start taking all those little steps to achieve that major thing is what I'm really referring to here as a kind of confidence. Because what also goes into confidence is certainty. You need to be certain of what it is that you want, or that it's right to want it. And you need to have the confidence to go after it. And it's that kind of outlook that I really want to explore here on this channel with you. And so I hope to see you in the future. And I hope my one little piece of advice, my one little outlook can get you start to think about this idea. If you like the video, drop a like, and I hope you leave a comment, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much.